الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم طلبتنا الأعزاء شعبتين جيم ودال. Inshallah, in our lesson today we are going to be discussing and explaining the characteristics of a thesis sentence. What are the good characteristics of a thesis sentence, or what are the good features of writing a good sentence, how to write a good thesis sentence in the introductory paragraph. Okay, so we have two parts for today's lesson. The first part, we are going to explain and discuss the structure of the thesis sentence that should be mentioned in the introductory paragraph of the essay, and how many parts does a good thesis sentence have. And sometimes we have good sentences, but they don't necessarily make good thesis sentences. We are going to see, as we discuss this topic, we are going to see what are the good characteristics of a good thesis sentence, and what are the pitfalls, the downsides, the demerits of a thesis sentence, the bad features of a thesis sentence, or how does a thesis sentence yield a bad sentence. Okay, though it may yield a good sentence in general, but not necessarily good thesis sentence. There is difference between a sentence and thesis sentence. There is difference between a sentence and a topic sentence. There are many sentences well structured, give complete meanings. They are well structured and semantically pragmatically speaking, syntactically. So they are what? They could be good sentences, but they don't necessarily yield, result in, give us good topic sentences or thesis sentences. Topic sentence in the paragraph and thesis sentence in the essay. So if you open your textbook on page 79, you'll see an explanation about the introductory paragraph. It starts with the general statements, and we said already that it introduces the general topic of the essay, and it captures the reader's interest. General introduction or background about the topic, and then we move step by step into the thesis sentence. What are the characteristics of a thesis sentence? So what do we know about a thesis sentence that should be mentioned? Not always, but academically speaking, let's agree on this to be more organized, and to be more focused also, to focus on our main ideas, should be mentioned at the end of the introductory paragraph. This thesis sentence should state the specific topic of your whole essay. So we have a general topic and we have a specific idea about that topic. The general topic we are talking about, for example, we are talking about school uniform, we are talking about smoking, talking about maybe education, talking about for example, the cost of studying at colleges, talking about the difference between private and public schools and colleges. So these are the general topics of the essays because we are dealing with essays in our course. When we try to write our main ideas, when we introduce the topic, this general topic, we have to write a very specific sentence at the end of the introductory paragraph. This sentence is so focused and specific. It should state the specific topic And actually, I don't agree with the textbook, with the writer of the textbook, but when he or she, when they, I think, yes, Alice Soshima and Anne Hogue, when they call it subtopic. Actually, I call it sub-idea. Okay, sub-idea about the topic in general, and then I'll show you how I disagree with the writers when we analyze thesis statements in a practice 4, page 83. So now, as general introduction, the thesis sentence states the specific idea about the topic. Though it names it, the textbook names it specific what? Specific topic. Okay. It may list subtopics of the main topic. Okay, this is the second feature of a thesis sentence. It may list subtopics, okay, of the main topic. I say it may list the sub-ideas about the subtopic. Not subtopics about the subtopics, sub-ideas about the topic. Okay, so we have the general topic, the topic of the essay, and we have the sub-ideas, or we have the topic of the thesis sentence and the sub-ideas about the topic, because it's a part of what? It's a part of the ideas, the controlling idea, our main viewpoint. Our viewpoint is called the idea, the controlling idea. Okay, as we will see on page 83, and I'm going to share this with you to read the sentences, to analyze them, to discuss those parts of the thesis statement. Just seconds. Okay. ظهرت عندكم الآن مو؟
Yes.
نعم دكتور.
اوكي ممتاز ممتاز. You're still sending due to visit the meeting. Okay. ممتاز. جيد. So here we have the characteristics of a thesis sentence. As you see here, it states the specific topic. Yeah, it talks about the specific topic. Yeah, it talks about the topic specifically, we can say. Okay, it states the specific topic and mainly subtopics that I call sub-ideas about the topic, may indicate the pattern of organization or organization of the essay. So from the when we analyze the thesis sentence, when we see the thesis sentence of the essays, we can tell whether the essay will be a comparison contrast pattern of organization, or a cause and effect, or an argumentative type of essay, and so on. These are the patterns of organization, whether it is a cause and effect type of organization, or a process type of organization, process form of an essay, yes, comparison and contrast, argumentative, expository, etc. Okay, these types of, we can tell from reading the, I'm going to show you the examples, may indicate the writer's position or point of view. May indicate the writer's position, so I don't know why it is stated as may, because I think it should state okay, may state, because sometimes, might be, yes, sometimes the writer gives his position or her position. Yeah, but I think in the thesis statement, he or she should state the position. بس هنا احتمال يتكلم عن يعني الessays in general. يعني sometimes I think there is something wrong with this. May indicate, or they might mean something different by using the may. May, I know that may is used as a hedge. Yeah, it's for probability. It is used for probability to show whether something will happen or not. So it may be and may not, may happen and may not be happened. Okay. Is usually the last sentence in the introductory paragraph? Yes, usually the last sentence. That's right. It's not a condition. It's usually, but it's better for us, for especially foreigners and foreign learners of the language. It's better to write it at the end of the statement to make your writing more organized, to make your thinking more focused, and make your writing more organized for you as a writer and for readers as well. Okay, so it's usually the last sentence in the introductory paragraph. Okay. Okay, so here we have what? Here we have 3 sentences. Okay, sentence number 1, sentence number 2, and sentence number 3. Okay, yes. And we have 2 types of writing a thesis sentence. In the group 1, so this is the group 1. And here we have group 2, and in group 2 we have what? We have only 2 examples. Okay? The difference between group 1 and group 2, let's see some students raise their hands before any question. Okay? So اليوم 20/11. Okay. Morning classes. ممتاز. Yes, Adwa Basim, you are raising your hand, you and Arafat, and I think I read Zainab somewhere. Okay.
Yes, Doctor.
Okay.
I want to talk about the 2 types.
Yes.
First of all, it's talking about the topic, introducing the topic, or with the topic of the whole essay. And the second part is to present the controlling idea about the topic.
Yes, the controlling idea about the topic. And what about the first group? Is there any controlling idea or not?
Talking about the topic, introducing the topic.
Introducing the topic, yes. Okay. And the second example, the second group. What about the second group? What about this sentence number 1 and sentence number 2? Yeah. اوكي، الظاهر النت عندك ضعيف جدا اضواء باسم. اوكي، اكو طالب بعد عنده يعني كلام او يريد يتكلم عن هذا الموضوع؟ يعني قبل لا اشرح، انا جاي اشرح وانتم رفعتوا ايديكم فلا بأس. اوكي. No worries. Okay. So here we have two groups, the same sentences, but there are some differences in the type of the sentences mentioned in the first group, and there is something extended in the second group. The same sentence, but with additional information. What type of information is that? What type of additional information is added for sentences or two sentences in the second group? We are going to explain this. We are going to analyze every sentence and see what are the differences. So if we read example number 1, who will read it, please? Students. Yes. Fatima Ja'far.
Yes, doctor.
Yes, please.
Although some parents and educators about same-sex classes, there is some evidence that separating boys and girls in middle school yields positive results.
Okay, thank you very much. Naba Sajjad, read it also.
Yes, Doctor. Young people in my culture have less freedom than young people in the United States. The large move.
Thank you very much. Zainab Sajjad.
The large movement of people from rural to urban areas has major effects on cities.
Okay, thank you very much. Zainab Nabil, read the first sentence in the second group.
Yes, doctor. Although some parents and educators oppose same-sex classes, there is some evidence that separating boys and girls in middle school yields positive results, particularly in improved learning, self-confidence, and decreased classroom discrimination.
Okay, thank you very much. And Sadiq Ali Saleh, the last sentence.
Yes, Doctor. Young
Yes, please.
people in my culture have less freedom than young people in the United States. In their choice of where they live, whom they marry, and what their job is.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you all. I'm going to explain the differences between the first group and the second group of thesis sentences, though they are talking about what? Talking about the same topic. So the topic is not different. The topic is the same. If we compare sentence number 1 in both the groups, for example, see it here, the sentence with this one, okay? Okay, no problem. Okay, the first sentence reads like this. Although some parents and educators oppose same-sex classes, there is some evidence that separating boys and girls in middle school yields, there is some evidence that separating boys and girls in middle schools or middle school yields positive results. The same sentence in the second group, although some parents and educators oppose same-sex classes, there is some evidence that separating boys and girls in middle school yields positive results, particularly in improved learner self-confidence and decreased classroom discrimination. So there's something additional in the second group, the same sentence in the second group, something added. If we analyze the thesis sentence in these two groups, and in every type of thesis sentence, if we analyze other thesis sentences, we should find at least two parts. The first part is the topic. The second part is the idea about the topic. So what is the topic? And what is the idea about the topic? What is the subject we are talking about? This represents the topic. And what is the idea written about this topic? What is the idea written about this topic means what is the viewpoint of the writer? What does the writer believe towards this topic? How does the writer expresses his viewpoint, his point of view, his position, his stance, his claim, his idea about the topic? So we have two parts. We have two parts. The first part should be the topic, and the second part should be what? Should be the idea about the topic. So this is the minimum, the least we should find in every good thesis sentence. طبعا in every sentence there are what? There are two parts. Yani there should be a topic and there should be an idea about the topic. Okay, for example, simply speaking, English language is an easy language to learn. English language is easy, simply. English language is the topic, and easy is what? The idea about the topic. Okay, English language is easy. Okay, so we have what? Two parts. English language is the topic we are talking about. بالضبط مثل المبتدأ والخبر في اللغة العربية. المبتدأ والخبر في اللغة العربية. اوكي، المبتدأ والخبر عندنا مبتدأ مثلا الكتاب جديد. الكتاب جديد. عندنا الكتاب هو شنو؟ هو التوبيك we are talking about. We are talking about الكتاب. الكتاب جديد. جديد is what? Is informing. This word informs us about what? About the book. Okay, the book is new. الكتاب جديد. لكن هنا عندنا في اللغة الإنجليزية we should use a verb. Okay, there's no like in Arabic language مبتدأ وخبر without using a verb. لأنه في اللغة العربية we have to use what? For example, we have الnominal sentence والverbal sentence. عندنا الجملة الاسمية والجملة الخبرية، الجملة الاسمية والجملة الفعلية. الجملة الاسمية تبدأ باسم والجملة الفعلية تبدأ بفعل. لكن كل جملة في اللغة الإنجليزية لا بد أن تحتوي على فعل. إذا لم تحتوي على فعل فهي ليست بجملة إطلاقا. لا تعتبر جملة syntactically speaking من حيث الجرامر. وجملة غير صحيحة تعتبر أو ما تسمى جملة أصلا في اللغة الإنجليزية. لكن في اللغة العربية تختلف. اللغة العربية عندها شيء أكيد structure of different structure or the languages are different in structure in many other aspects. زين
العفو دكتور.
نعم.
هذه الجملة اللي ما بها فعل تعتبر مو جملة باللغة الإنجليزية الأكاديمية فقط، لو حتى اللغة العامية هم هيك يعتبرونها مو جملة.
لا اللغة العامية بعد ما نحاسبهم على الصحة والخطأ. بعد ما نحاسبهم مثل ما اللغة العامية مالتنا. اللغة العامية ما نحاسبها على الصح والخطأ لأن هذه تعتبر slang language. اللغة العامية. زين، اللغة العامية لا ما نحاسب. احنا جاي نحكي على standard language، لغة الأكاديمية، لغة الكتاب، لغة الثقافة وهكذا. لكن اللغة العامية لا، ممكن واحد يتفاهم ويا الآخر بعدم استخدام الادجكتيفز الصحيحة، بعدم استخدام الفيربز، مجرد كلمات ويصير تفاهم، ماكو أي مشكلة. اوكي، فاللغة العامية ما ندرسها بشكل أكاديمي، أصلا لا تنتمي إلى اللغة الأكاديمية.
شكرا دكتور.
اوكي يا اهلا. الان عندنا sentence number 1. Although some parents and educators oppose same-sex classes, there is some evidence that separating boys and girls in middle school yields positive results. So where is the topic we are talking about? What is the topic we are talking about? Yes, Adwa.
Yes, Doctor. The topic is the same-sex classes, and the main
Okay,
idea
same.
is yield
Yes.
positive results.
Okay, so same-sex classes or separating boys and girls, they're the same. Okay, although some parents and educators or oppose يعني disagree with the idea of the same-sex classes. Okay. Yes. There is some evidence that separating boys and girls in middle school yields positive results. Here, in this sentence, the writer talks about what? The writer talks about two groups of people. Who are they? Adwa, Basim.
Yes, Doctor. In this statement, the model is specific. It's explained the author's point of view about single-sex education. It's mean in favor of separating boys and girls in middle school, and the reasoning that will be explored in the list of essay.
Okay, thank you very much. Fatima Ja'far, what are those
Yes,
two
sir.
groups we are talking about, or the writer is
Talk
talking about?
Students, girls, and boys in the middle school.
Yes, I know. This is the topic. We are talking about the same sex classes. Adwa and Fatima Ja'far. We are talking about same-sex classes or separating boys and girls in middle school. Yes, this is the topic. But the writer here, so what is the difference between, for example, sentence number 1 and sentence number 3? The large movement of people from rural to urban areas has major effects on cities. Look, in sentence number 1, the writer introduces the opponent's idea about the topic. Although some parents and educators oppose same-sex classes, so there are two groups of people here. Those people who oppose, and those people who disagree with the idea, and me as the writer. So here we have two sides, and he or she presents his or her idea about the topic. He shows his point of view about the topic. And at the same time, he tells us about another idea. What is the benefit? What is the use of this kind of usage? يعني ليش الكاتب هنا استخدم يعني قدم لنا الفكرة بطريقة مختلفة. يعني هو يقدر يقول رأسا directly، يعني يقدر يلغي الفيرست بارت اللي هو dependent clause، هاي dependent clause هاي يقدر يلغيها. يقدر لو ما يلقى يقدر يقول there is some evidence that separating boys and girls in middle school yields positive results. لكن هو قدم لنا dependent clause and then he starts with the independent clause that represents his point of view. What is the use of this? What is the benefit? Why does the writer shows us such an opposition? يعني يقدر يقول بدون يعني استخدام هذا الفيرست part of the sentence اللي هي dependent clause، يقدر رأسا يقول there is some evidence that separating boys and girls in middle school yields positive results، اللي هو رأيه وراح يدافع عنه. نعم أضواء.
Because he used the phrase the word although, so he starts with dependent clause to show his independent clause in the main idea.
Why again? So why he introduces another idea that is different from his idea? Okay, yes.
He should two parts, main idea and the topic. So the main idea in first sentence and the topic in the second. So you have to complete it.
Okay, thank you very much أضواء. شهد عقيل.
a comparison and contrast.
We expect a comparison and contrast. Yeah, maybe, yes. Yes, good. You have touched upon a good point here. But actually it is not a comparison and contrast. It is something different. The writer wants to show us that there will be in the rest of the essay, there will be an argument. There will be an argument about these two ideas. Why I believe that separating them will yield positive results, whereas some other people believe that it is not what it is. It is the opposition. Yani they believe that separating them will not yield good results, will not yield good academic results. Okay, so he introduces the opposite idea to tell us that he will mention something about these opposing ideas and why those people who oppose this idea, my belief, my point of view, why do they disagree with my point of view, and why do I disagree with them? And I'm going to defend my point of view and show the refutation. Yani show refutation means the opinion against another opinion. So when for example the writer refutes the opponent's ideas, means that he will disagree with them and show that their idea is not well defended. So he is going to refute. يعني راح يرجح فكرته على فكرة الopponents المعارضين للفكرة. هو راح يبين هذه الفكرة. هو هنا يعني كتب يعني أو أشار إلى الفكرة الأخرى أو إلى الفئة الأخرى التي لا تتفق مع رأيه. ليش؟ لأنه سوف يوضح فكرته، سوف يدافع عن فكرته، سوف سوف يشرح لماذا هو يعتقد بهذه الفكرة، ويأتي بالشواهد ويأتي بالأمثلة ويأتي يعني supporting ideas، الأفكار التي تعزز فكرته، لكن بنفس الوقت هو يحترم القارئ الذي يعارض فكرته. فماذا يفعل؟ يأتي بفكرة المعارضة. لماذا الآخرين يعارضون الفكرة؟ فكرة أو يعني فكرة، يأتي بفكرتين، يأتي بثلاثة أفكار مثلا، ثلاثة نقاط، لكن عندما يأتي بالأفكار المعارضة لا يتركها كما هي، يعني سيعمد إلى دحضها. سيعمد إلى ماذا؟ سيعمد إلى دحض الأفكار المعارضة. يعني in English language, the writer will defend, support his ideas that separating boys and girls in middle school classes will yield positive results. He will give examples, he will give explanations, details, maybe anecdotes, whatever type of supporting. He will try his best to defend his idea. At the same time, he will mention some ideas of those opponents, of those those who disagree with this particular idea. He will mention some points, some oppositions. يعني راح يذكر بعض الاعتراضات. But at the same time, he will what? He will go back and refute. يعني he will refute those ideas المعارضة. يعني those opposing ideas. راح يدحض تلك الأفكار ويرجع إلى شنو؟ يرجع إلى مساندة أفكاره. أكو سؤال؟ يعني المسألة واضحة أعتقد، مو صعبة. وهذا إن شاء الله راح نشوفه وين؟ راح نشوفه بالإكزامبل بالموديل essay that we will read when we study the body paragraphs إن شاء الله. لأن هسه كلامنا كله هو على الثيسس، لكن خرجنا شوية اليوم ورحنا شوية زايد. إذن here the writer expresses his point of view. His point of view starts here. Yields positive results. Yields positive results. But